After a sojourn down the darkest depths of nonfiction November, aka the Boulevard of Bleakness, I have returned for a December TBR of fantasy fiction and some nonfiction. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Dan. This is Dan Martin Likes You. I am so grateful you are here on this post-belated Thanksgiving weekend. I hope you all had a wonderful time. I hope it was free of pain and awkward family interactions. I was up in a barn in the wine country of California. You can check out my Instagram for photos of that place, and it was amazing. I hope it was as amazing as that. As much as I loved my nonfiction November reads, it was taxing. So I have selected a few books that I now have wanted to read for a while. Some fiction, a couple of nonfiction. Let's get started. Okay, first up is a novel. This one comes from Korea. This is 100 Shadows. 147 pages. It comes from the female author Won Young-yen. It was translated by Young Ya-won. And what can I tell you? It was first published in Korea in 2010 and then was published by Tilted Access Press in this year, 2016, with a foreword by Han Kang, the author of The Vegetarian. I originally heard of this book from Marissa over at Little Spider 9, or I believe I heard it from her. I tend to get book recommendations off BookTube and then always forget who I get them from, but I'm pretty sure Marissa gave it to me. So thank you for that. I'm looking forward to this. This book dives into the relationship between two co-workers in a seedy underbelly of a glitzy neighborhood in Korea that makes electronics. It's a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of a romance, and has a weird fantastical element to it, allegedly. I'm very much looking forward to it. It looks like a pretty quick read, to be honest. It's been billed as a minimalist novel. Not sure what that means exactly. Next up is probably one of my most anticipated reads of the year, and that is The Tsar of Love and Techno by Anthony Marra. This was published by Hogarth in 2015, which is a subsidiary of Penguin Random House. Anne Patchett billed this as one of her favorite books of the year, so if you love Anne Patchett, maybe you want to check this out. I am definitely going to check this out. Anthony Marra was the author of 2013's A Constellation of Vital Phenomena, which is one of my, I would say it's in my top 10 books of all time. This book is a collection of short stories, and like his novel, which was his very first book, is set in Russia, or the majority of the stories are set in Russia. And it comes in around 327 pages, I think. If you've never read Anthony Marra's novel or don't know anything about this collection of short stories, he is a literary magician. There is something so beautiful about the way he writes that I've not experienced in another author. I guess you could say that about most authors that you love. I haven't had the opportunity to read a lot of short story collections this year, and so I'm very much looking forward to this one. Okay, next is the one library book I have of the year. That is Jack Handey's The Stench of Honolulu. This was published by Grand Central Publishing in 2013. Jack Handey is a comedy writer. This is a comedy novel. You may recognize his name. He is one of the co-contributors of Shouts and Murmurs section on The New Yorker. And from my generation, he is fondly remembered as the guy who did Deep Thoughts on Saturday Night Live. But the way that I discovered this book was from Slate.com. They ran an article a couple of months ago called the Funniest Living Writers Recommend the Funniest Books of All Time. Something to that nature. I will link it below. Maria Semple, who starts off that list, there are 82 writers on there. This book was listed as one of her three favorite or three funniest books of all time. And for me, I love Maria Semple, and I loved Where'd You Go, Bernadette. So for me, that was all I needed to know. I'm looking forward to this one. Next up is one of two nonfiction selections for this month, and this comes from an author I've never read before. That would be David Foster Wallace, and a supposedly fun thing I'll never do again. I have tried to read Infinite Jest twice and could not get through it. But I had recently gone through some BookTube videos and found Ryan over at For Love of Ryan. I'm sure you all know who he is. If you don't, you should subscribe to him, check him out at least. It's a great channel. He gave a fantastic video review on this book, sorry, not this book, on Infinite Jest and another one of his nonfiction books. And I realized I need to read him, especially because this is one of the preeminent authors of my generation, which is Gen X. I am a third of the way through this. I started it about a week ago, and I've never read a book where I've had to use dictionary.com's app more than with this book. He is a smart dude, and he knows his language. The thing that I lament about his untimely death from us is that the second essay in this book is about the relationship of fiction and television, which is a fascinating read. I just wish that he would have lived long enough to have given us a follow-up essay on the relationship between the internet and fiction, because I'm sure it would have been amazing. Next up is a book from England. This is also a writer that I've never read before, and that would be Ali Smith, Autumn. This comes in at 260 pages, was published under the Penguin Random House UK publishing arm. What do I know about this? Not a lot. This is another BookTube recommendation. This came from Jen Campbell, who gave it a rave review. And I thought, why not? Here's an author I know nothing about and I've heard a lot about on BookTube, so I'm excited to read it. Okay, and for the very last December TBR, it's not even a book, but it came in book form, so I'm going to throw it on the list, and that is the US Constitution. Now, I was not going to include this, but I just felt in the political climate that it was worth throwing on the list because I feel like it's important, we should know it. If you're an American citizen, I feel like it's probably more important than ever to know what it says and what it means. So that's it. That's my whole list for the December TBR. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you're reading for December. I would love to see your recommendations and your picks. I'm always curious what other people are up to reading. And thank you for watching this video. Again, I'm always amazed that people come back every week and check out these videos. I'm just grateful. So that's it. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, and I look forward to seeing your comments, and I will talk to you guys next weekend. Bye.